Hi, my name is Jawad, and welcome to Naburva's LinkedIn series. Today we have Shah Rukh with us. So over to Shah Rukh, if you please introduce yourself.
All right. Thank you so much, Jawad. First of all, I would like to thank you and Naburva for giving me this opportunity to share my knowledge with others. Let me give you a brief introduction of myself. This is Shah Rukh Qureshi, and I have around a decade of experience in the HR, strategic, and the organizational development side. I am certified with more than like 35 bodies. I mean, I'm the licensed professional in many fields. If you talk about like project management, human resources strategy, organizational development, recruitment, learning and development, and there are far many other things which are somehow aligned with the HR portion, that is health and safety and ISO standards as well.
So that's
That
great.
is all
That's
about
great.
Jawad.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for spending time for Naburva and like sharing your thoughts and views about the HR field. I think that's the main gist of it. Like you have the main like I don't think people consider HR as a field with have after having so much certifications. So that those practical certifications are the main goals that makes HR a really practical and a field a department in a business that helps the organization to move in the right direction. So I believe you are the right professional who would like in Pakistan you would be like making most of the organizations head in the right direction. So that's why I'm really glad that you are here with us. So coming towards our today's topic, like job analysis. So over to you. What do you think of it? Like what's job analysis
Yeah.
and its implementation in Pakistan? Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much, Jawad. So basically, I wanted to talk about job analysis because this is the part of our HR system, which most of the organizations are, not pretty much taking care of. And I think that this is the major thing that we are missing out in our whole HR processes, due to which we actually get into most of the troubles in the organizational operations. Right. So let me give you a brief about what job analysis is. So it is actually a process of collecting job related data. I mean, why do any organization need any sort of position in the organization? I mean, it is the analyzing the people strategy, that why do you need some certain skill set in people to get your organization going, right? So everything you must have heard about KSAs, like knowledge, skills, abilities.
Yeah.
So job analysis is all about aligning the right knowledge, aligning the right skill and ability of a person to do a certain task. So what this whole process is, let me give you a small definition of it, but this is actually my definition. I'm not quoting anybody else's definition. That is, it is actually a process of collecting job related data, like what would be the duties of that person, what would be the responsibilities, like the key responsibility areas of that specific person which we are going to hire, what skills and knowledge areas are required for that specific position, and what would be the work breakdown structure for that person. I mean, if I want a certain task to be done in any organization, in my organization, of course, so obviously I must have a plan for that person already in my mind, just to set that plan into a piece of paper rather than in my mind, because it's human mind, we have a lot going on. There would be a point where I'm going to forget about it. So it's better if I put it in a piece of paper, I make it a plan. So that plan is actually called a job analysis, right?
Okay. So if I just conclude it, if I just like summarize it, it's the strategy that aligns the right resources with the right job descriptions to get the maximum results out of them, even for the organization and for individuals as well. That's what you are referring to.
Yeah, so basically, yeah, that is the basic point. But if we are going any further to explain this, it is like, every business starts with a strategy. You always said, for example, if Jawad is running a business and he's thinking about starting a startup, right? There must be a strategy in your mind. So whenever you make strategy, there is always a capital strategy. Where am I going to get the funding? There is always an operational strategy. How am I going to start? So with all these strategies, there is one other very important strategy which we usually miss. That is the people strategy. So job analysis is all about aligning the people strategy with your business strategy. Where do you want your business to be, and what kind of people you need to get there where you want it to be?
Yeah, if I recall it right, there is this like entrepreneurship book of Beringer and Ireland. He mentions that the one of the most important feasibility that you run before starting a startup, and like you're planning to start something, it's a management process. You actually analyze and you determine what are the resources required for performing a particular job, and how you can like align some that resources to like maximum to get the maximum benefits for your organization. So but coming towards this, there is something that I feel missing in Pakistan. Like I don't
Yeah.
believe like most of the organizations maybe skip, or like they don't follow this practice. So what's your take on this?
So Jawad, basically, that's a very nice question. I would say that there is a concept of emergency hiring here in Pakistan mostly, that whenever the project is right over our head, and
Yeah.
we are just running after the people, that we need that kind of person who can do a certain piece of job. Obviously, when we are running after the project, I mean, that's the right time, because you are strategizing your business accordingly. I mean, that's the right time when you should strategize the people policy as well, right? That what kind of people we're going to need, what kind of skill set we're going to need, so that you already make a pipeline. Job analysis always helps you to develop a pipeline of the right skill set, right? So why organizations are missing it? Because we are more of the operational side of organization. If you look at the organizational culture in our in this country, Pakistan, most of the things we do is as per the operational need, not as per the strategic need. So what we are
Yeah.
really missing here is the strategy side. So once we start thinking at the strategy side mostly, there would be the gap that is very easy to fill.
Yeah, I think we more of our approach is a like a reactive approach. Whenever something falls
Yeah,
on our
exactly.
head, that's the time we start hiring. We start like asking for resources that's in the market, and like, and you're very right on the point. Like the actual time for such hirings and for making these decisions what should be the time when you are planning about a project in the planning phase.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. So, can you name some risks associated with it? Like if like most of the organizations are not following these processes, so what would the risk that they would be facing?
Oh yeah, well, there are plenty of risks with this, Jawad. So let me start with the very basic reason, which is actually the primary one. That is the business loss. See, you are strategizing your people part of the strategy whenever you have the project already in hand, right? The project has started, but just because you are now reactively asking for people to join your organization, that person need to spend like 1 month of notice period. That person need to be found. Obviously, in finding that person, we need ample amount of time. So for example, if your project is in hand, you have already committed to your client that you are going to deliver, and you do not have the right skill set, it will always take on average like 2 to 3 months to find the right talent, to find the right skill set. So in 3 months, obviously you are losing your business. That is the first risk, right?
Yeah,
Second,
right.
the operational cost increment. Obviously, when you don't have the right skill set, you're gonna increase your operational cost by giving this project to some other third parties or consultants, or you're going to pay a lot more than what you're actually expecting from your own employee, right? So that's the other risk. The third risk is that you always working on the reactive side, so it means your people are not ready for any other thing which is coming to your organization. It means you are not doing the organizational development part for your people. You are not giving them ample skill set, you are not giving them ample training, so that if something of such sort comes by, they can handle it easily. So these are the risks which are associated not at the companies or the organization side, but on the people side as well. Because at the end of the day, they're going to be the same people who you hired like 3 or 4 years ago.
Great. It means that the pillars that you are building over the years, like you are not treating your people like assets. So you are not
Exactly.
like investing in them. You are not planning their positions. So if you would like if you in your organization and the projects you have been doing. So if you are to plan a position or like a critical task, a critical position towards a dedicated project, so what's your approach towards it? How do you plan? Like, what's your take on it?
So basically, Jawad, what we do in our organization is that we always plan our people side with our business strategy, because and it is like the job analysis. First of all, we need to understand this, that job analysis is not a one-time thing. It's a recurring part, right? You need to analyze your people's job again and again. For example, if right now Jawad is doing, Jawad was being set on the marketing side, there would be time comes when we are going to talk about the ROI from that marketing. So I want Jawad to be at the analytics side as well, right? For
Yeah.
that, I need to analyze his job again and again, right? So it's a recurring part. So what we do in our organization, that in every 6 months, because it's a very hectic process, in every 6 months, we re-examine that what our people are doing already, what other tasks we are associating with them, because their skill set is somehow aligning with those tasks, with that work breakdown structure. We set the new work breakdown structure, and we have a very great PMO team to whom we have already given this task, that every 6 months you need to sit with the people, develop their new work breakdown structures, develop their new KRAs, like key responsibilities areas, and then develop the new KPIs for them. Because obviously, when you are giving them the new JD, when you are giving them the new job specification, you need new KPIs to measure their performance as well. So that's our strategy to tackle it.
Okay, so I think our conclusion would be like project, like HR is now a project management field, or
Oh
and or
yes.
yeah,
Oh
so an
yes.
HR specialist should also have some project management skills with them, just like
Well,
you.
Jawad, honestly, sorry to cut you off, but
Yeah.
I would say that not some of, but 70 to 80%.
Okay.
Right now, especially, I'm going to talk about the tech sector. In IT sector, if your HR professional is not project management specialist, I
Yeah.
am telling you that he's going to fail, and he's going to fail so bad.
Okay. I get it. I get it. I think that's where like Naburva pitched in, and like they are focused on this, like their recent certification that connects that trains an HR professional to become a project management professional with the right strategies and the tailored information that he or she requires to perform that particular job that we are currently discussing. So I think that's the main idea here. So I believe you also have some like experience of providing some trainings and like certifications. So would you like to like share some information with us too?
Oh yeah, so basically it's kind of my passion to get trained and train others.
Okay, okay.
So
I
what I
believe
do
that's a
is that,
very right passion and very dedicated passion. So I think
yeah. So
yeah,
so so what I do is that I always explore new stuff in the market. For example, if you talk about right now, I am explicitly following the Chat GPT, what its features are, because it's a new thing in the market. I'm exclusively looking at the workplace 3.0, the web 3.0 concept, because these are the new things. Obviously, if I'm not gonna make myself update to that level, how am I gonna develop a strategy for my people?
yeah,
So for every HR professional, it is very important to be updated with the market standards, right?
yeah,
So that's what I'm doing. And talking about the training experience, I had been working as an OD head with many US organizations as well.
right,
So in OD side, you always have this learning and development, a subdivision with you, where
yeah,
you are, planning their skill set, that what kind of skill set is needed. And obviously, not every skill set is developed through training. Some are, you need shadowings, and sometimes you need to go through the practical approach. But training
yeah.
is something which is at the basic level, because if you don't have knowledge about the stuff, obviously there would be no practical approach after that, right? So
Exactly.
basically, you start with the very initial step, that is the schooling concept. You school them about the stuff, and then you get them to the university. That is the practical approach of things.
Okay.
So I learned myself, and then after getting my practical experiences and getting hands-on with those things, I train others. So that is my learning point of view.
Okay, great, great. I think some of the like mentees should like reach out to you, and like you would be like would you be like willing to help them? Like
Oh
that's
yeah,
the
for
question,
sure, for
I
sure.
guess.
I always
Okay.
feel privileged to help others, to, share my knowledge up to what extent it would be.
Yeah, and that's being reflecting with your like presence here, like you showed, like you show up for this conversation and this for our LinkedIn series. I'm really glad. I'm really glad for you being our guest, and I hope like our audience gets to learn more from you. And I can see the practicality that you have discussed. You are actually practically implementing those things that you just mentioned on your profile as well. Like
Exactly.
you are riding in that direction. So I believe that's it. That's it. Thank you so much